Imagine this. You're standing at the crossroads of your future. On one side, the promise of a degree and a high-paying job. On the other, the shadow of crushing debt. In Canada, student loans and grants are supposed to be a bridge to prosperity, but are they secretly a one-way ticket to poverty? Stay tuned as we unravel the truth that could change the course of your life forever. Introduction: the Canadian Dream, the cost of education, and why it matters. For generations, Canada has marketed higher education as the key to a brighter future. Universities and colleges flash smiling graduates and soaring job statistics in their brochures, telling students and parents that a diploma is a golden ticket. But behind every graduation photo, there's a silent story of sacrifice, years of sleepless nights, skipped meals, and the invisible weight of debt. The Canadian dream is powerful, but so is the cost of chasing it. As more students enroll, tuition fees have quietly climbed, often outpacing inflation and family incomes. While some families scrape together savings, many turn to student loans and grants, trusting the system will help them climb up, not drag them down. Yet, for countless young Canadians, reality hits hard after the celebration fades and loan bills start to arrive. The gap between expectation and reality can be wide and sometimes devastating. Why does this matter so much? Because the choices made at 18 or 19 years old can shape the rest of your financial life. A student loan might seem like a manageable monthly payment at first, but over years or decades, it can delay dreams of home ownership, family, and even retirement. Meanwhile, those who receive grants or scholarships can leap ahead, sometimes with advantages money alone can't buy. Throughout this video, we'll tell the untold stories, the secret winners, the silent strugglers, and the surprising truths about how Canada's system of loans and grants shapes the futures of millions. So, before you sign on the dotted line or cheer on your favorite graduate, ask yourself, are we setting up the next generation for prosperity or poverty? Chapter 1. The true cost of education in Canada. Behind the numbers on a tuition bill lies a maze of hidden costs few anticipate. Take Arman, who thought his engineering program in Toronto would be pricey but manageable. When he arrived, he was stunned to learn about mandatory lab fees, sky-high textbook prices, and even a graduation processing fee. Before the first semester ended, his carefully planned budget was in tatters. And it's not just tuition. Living expenses in Canadian cities, rent, groceries, transit, have exploded. Students from rural areas or those moving from abroad face sticker shock as they struggle to find affordable housing and reliable part-time work. International students who already pay 2 to 3 times the domestic tuition often must share cramped apartments and stretch every dollar just to survive. Some costs are even more insidious. University services like health plans, gym access, and technology fees add up quickly, sometimes with little explanation. Even required online homework platforms can cost hundreds of dollars per year, catching families off guard. The dream of independence often comes with a brutal price tag and a tough decision between food, books, or paying bills. Yet compared to the US or UK, many Canadians still believe they have it better. But is that true? With fewer scholarships and rising tuition, today's students can graduate with the same level of debt and far less hope of a quick payoff. For Arman and thousands like him, the cost of education is measured not just in dollars, but in the sacrifices and missed opportunities that follow. Comment your biggest surprise expense below. Chapter 2. How student loans really work. The student loan system in Canada seems simple until you're in it. Federal and provincial loans like OSAP in Ontario or Alberta's Student Aid promise to support your journey, but their rules, interest rates, and fine print can be confusing. Most students take out loans with little guidance, assuming the government will be lenient or forgiving if times get tough. The reality is often much harsher. Interest rates are the silent enemy. They can turn a $25,000 loan into a $40,000 repayment journey, especially if you only pay the minimum or fall behind. Grace periods are short, often 6 months after graduation, before monthly bills start landing in your inbox. Those who can't find work quickly may watch their debt grow with interest, even as they scramble for entry-level jobs. Default is more common than you think. A missed payment can tank your credit score and follow you for years, impacting your ability to rent, get a car loan, or even secure some jobs. Many grads, like Jasmine in Halifax, find themselves with ballooning balances and relentless calls from loan collectors, wondering if they'll ever break free. For some, the shame and stress are overwhelming. Income-based repayment programs help, but they also keep many trapped in a cycle of minimum payments. It's a balancing act between survival today and freedom tomorrow. For every student who triumphs, many more quietly adjust to a lifetime of just getting by. Is the system helping or hurting? Like and subscribe if you've learned something new so far. Chapter 3, The Grant Game: Who Wins and Who Loses. Grants and scholarships are supposed to be the great equalizer, offering free money to those who need it most. But ask anyone who's applied and they'll tell you the process is anything but easy. Federal and provincial grants each have their own strict requirements, forms, and deadlines. For many students, navigating this maze becomes a full-time job on top of their studies. There's a catch to every grant. Some require a minimum number of credits, a specific GPA, or enrollment in approved programs. Others are only open to certain backgrounds or locations. And sometimes that free money is taxed as income or clawed back if your grades drop, even by a fraction. Many students spend hours applying for dozens of bursaries and walk away with little to show for it. Winners in the grant game usually have support. Parents who know the system, teachers who help with essays, or advisors who point them in the right direction. First-generation students, immigrants, or those juggling jobs are often left behind, not for lack of effort, but for lack of know-how. Stories like Abdullah's, who sent out 20 applications and received one small bursary, are heartbreakingly common. Yet when grants come through, they can change lives. Some students hack the system, stacking awards to cover most of their costs, graduating nearly debt-free. For everyone else, it's a lottery, and the odds aren't always fair. Share your grant or scholarship journey in the comments. Chapter 4. The mental health impact of student debt. Debt isn't just a number, it's a weight on your mind and heart. Canadian students are reporting anxiety, depression, and even panic attacks at record levels, and the pressure of owing thousands only makes it worse. Chantal, a first-generation student, remembers the dread that hit every time an OSAP email arrived. Would there be enough for next semester? Would she have to drop out? The stress doesn't disappear after graduation. For many, the real world brings new bills, rent, and the urgent need for work. Loan payments loom, and the gap between what you studied and what you earn can be crushing. It's no wonder that many grads delay life milestones, like moving out, starting a family, or saving for retirement, because every spare dollar goes to debt. Universities have begun offering more counseling and mental health support, but services are stretched thin. Too often, students suffer in silence, embarrassed or afraid to admit they're drowning. The stigma of debt weighs heavily, especially on those whose families sacrificed everything for their education. But hope exists in shared struggle. Online forums, campus groups, and peer networks can provide comfort, advice, and solidarity. When students speak out and support each other, they realize they're not alone. And that's the first step toward healing, both financially and emotionally. Drop a comment if you've ever felt stressed about student loans. Chapter 5 is Student Debt Worth It? ROI. Breakdown every year, students across Canada ask themselves, is it really worth it? Data shows that, on average, university graduates earn more than those without degrees, but averages can be misleading. High-paying STEM careers and in-demand trades often deliver quick returns, while other fields, like the arts or social sciences, may leave grads fighting for entry-level jobs. Some programs are quiet goldmines. Skilled trades, IT certifications, and nursing diplomas have helped thousands leapfrog into well-paying jobs with little debt. Meanwhile, traditional four-year degrees, once seen as a guarantee of success, now come with steeper risks and sometimes smaller payoffs. Co-op and internship programs can boost earnings and job prospects, but not all schools offer them. The gap isn't just between programs. Gender, race, and background still influence who gets ahead and who falls behind. Women and racialized graduates often earn less and pay off debt more slowly, while newcomers face extra hurdles breaking into the job market. For every Jacob who used an apprenticeship to buy a home by 25, there are countless others struggling just to keep up. The verdict? For some, student debt is a necessary investment that pays off. For others, it's a lifelong drag. The key is knowledge, knowing which paths offer the best return and making choices with open eyes and honest advice. Comment your major and where you're studying. Chapter 6. The Politics of Student Loans and Grants. Beneath the headlines about affordable education and student aid, there's a political battlefield few students ever see. Governments use loans and grants as campaign promises, tweaking interest rates or offering new programs every election cycle. But after the votes are counted, many changes quietly fade away or come with strings attached. Lobby groups, banks, universities, and sometimes even student unions play a powerful role in shaping policy. They push for programs that benefit their bottom line, sometimes at the expense of students' futures. Universities lobby for higher international tuition, banks promote private lines of credit, and politicians tout debt relief programs that help a few but not the many. The media adds another layer, spinning stories about debt forgiveness or free tuition that rarely tell the whole story. Buried in the fine print are limitations, eligibility rules, and exceptions that leave many students out in the cold. Even experts admit the system is so complex that only insiders truly understand how it works. For real change, students and families must become informed and demand transparency. The battle for fair student aid is far from over, but every voice counts. Chapter 7. The Immigrant and International Student Experience. For immigrants and international students, the dream of a Canadian diploma often comes with twice the cost and triple the challenges. Tuition rates are steep, and access to federal loans or grants is often restricted. Many must rely on family support, savings, or private lenders with high interest rates and strict repayment rules. Work restrictions are another hurdle. International students are limited in how much they can work off campus, making it tough to earn enough for rent and tuition. Even after graduation, visa and residency rules can force students to leave before finding a good job, often with mountains of debt still unpaid. Stories abound of agencies that lure students with big promises, only to abandon them once tuition is paid. Some students, like Li Wei from China, find themselves isolated and unable to seek help, ashamed to tell their families about mounting debts or academic struggles. But there are successes too. Those who find community, access support services, or land co-op jobs sometimes beat the odds. For many, however, the path is far harder, and the consequences of failure much steeper than most Canadians ever realize. International students, share your story below Chapter 8, Alternative Paths, Beating the System. Not every student follows the traditional route. Some take advantage of hidden scholarships, bursaries, or less competitive awards overlooked by most applicants. Others combine part-time work, co-ops, or online gigs to pay tuition in cash, avoiding loans entirely. Entrepreneurship is on the rise among Canadian students. From tutoring and freelance writing to starting small businesses, more young people are turning side hustles into full-time careers. These ventures not only pay for school, but also teach valuable skills and sometimes launch lifelong businesses. Trade schools and apprenticeships are another route. While universities push 4-year degrees, more students are learning that trades, electricians, plumbers, IT specialists, can lead to high-paying jobs with little or no debt. These quiet millionaires rarely make headlines but often live with less stress and more freedom. Every path has its risks and rewards, but the lesson is clear. Those who research, network, and think creatively often end up ahead, no matter where they started. Got a side hustle or unique way you paid for school? Inspire others in the comments. Chapter 9. The Hidden Costs. After graduation. Graduation should be a time for celebration, but for many, it marks the beginning of a new struggle. Interest begins accruing immediately, and the first loan bill often feels like a punch to the gut. For some, the realization sets in that it will take years, maybe decades, to pay it all back. Wage garnishments, collection calls, and tax refund seizures can turn a minor misstep into a major financial crisis. Even responsible graduates can stumble if they lose a job or face a health emergency. The system is unforgiving and the penalties are steep. The ripple effects extend far beyond the wallet. Many grads delay getting married, buying a home, or starting a family, feeling trapped by their financial obligations. For Amir in Calgary, the hardest part was watching his friends hit milestones he had to postpone, all to stay ahead of his loan payments. Yet there are stories of triumph. Some graduates get creative, taking on multiple jobs, moving back home, or living ultra-frugally to pay off massive debts in record time. Their journeys prove it's possible, but also highlight how broken the system can be. What's the biggest milestone you've delayed because of debt? Chapter 10. Is there a way out? Forgiveness, repayment, and relief for some. Government relief programs offer a lifeline. Loan forgiveness for doctors or teachers in remote areas, or special repayment plans for those with low incomes. But these programs often have strict eligibility requirements and help only a fraction of borrowers. Bankruptcy, once seen as a last resort, comes with its own risks and consequences. Student loans are notoriously hard to discharge, and many who try find themselves facing years of financial restriction and damaged credit. The path to true relief is rarely straightforward. Smart repayment strategies, like snowball or avalanche methods, can help, as can free budgeting tools and online communities. For Nadia, joining a support group was the turning point. Sharing her journey, learning new tactics, and finding accountability made the impossible seem possible. Advocacy is growing. Students, graduates, and allies are joining together to push for real reform. The movement for fairer, more transparent student aid is gaining ground, but change is slow and the fight is far from over. Like if you think the system needs real change. Chapter 11. The Path to Prosperity. What actually works? Some graduates find a way to flip the script. By minimizing debt, maximizing earning potential, and starting to invest early, even small amounts, they build wealth young. Sophie, who graduated debt-free, started investing at 22 and now helps others do the same. Her secret? Careful planning, wise choices, and a willingness to seek help when needed. Picking the right school, city, and program matters. Students who resist peer pressure, ignore glossy marketing, and focus on long-term value often come out ahead. Mentorship and alumni networks can open doors, offer career guidance, and even lead to job offers that make debt easier to tackle. It's not just about money. Emotional support from family, friends, and community groups gives students the confidence to take risks and learn from failures. Success stories are rarely solo journeys. They're built on connection, resourcefulness, and grit. Prosperity isn't out of reach. The tools, knowledge, and support exist, but only for those willing to seek them out, ask questions, and refuse to settle for less. What's your #1 financial tip for students? Drop it below. Chapter 12. The Final Verdict. Poverty or Prosperity? So, what's the truth? Student loans and grants in Canada can be a ladder to prosperity or a trap leading to poverty. The difference isn't just luck, but preparation, knowledge, and support. Those who plan ahead, make informed choices, and seek help are more likely to thrive, while those who go in blind often struggle. The stakes are high, but you're not alone. Countless students and graduates are fighting the same battles, asking the same questions, and searching for better answers. The system isn't perfect, but change starts with awareness and action, one student, one story at a time. Before you make your next move, arm yourself with facts, seek advice, and don't be afraid to demand better from schools, banks, and the government. Your future is too important to leave to chance. If this video opened your eyes or gave you hope, hit like, share, and subscribe. Pin this video, tag a friend, and join the movement for smarter, fairer education in Canada. Comment prosperity if you believe in a better future, or poverty if you're worried. Let's support each other.